And India's first publicly listed real estate investment trust, Embassy Office Parks REIT, reported a strong start to their fiscal year with first quarter revenue and net operating income both rising 17% from a year ago. And that's driven by sustained office leasing demand. Embassy REIT leased 1.3 million square feet of office space across 17 transactions during the quarter, including new leases signed at an 11% re-leasing spread. The company said global capability centers accounted for 81% of leasing demand, while AI-related companies made up 21% of new leasing, highlighting continued demand from multinationals expanding their operations in India. We're joined now by Amit Shetty, who's CEO of Embassy Office Parks REIT, to help give us more details and context behind that rather robust first quarter report card there. Amit, it's good to have you with us. Okay, so we've noted that GCCs continue to take up the lion's share of that demand that's keeping these occupancy rates rather higher, impressively high for office parks. But I want to focus on these AI companies, 21% of new leasing. Now, when you say AI, that could mean a lot of different companies. Just what type of AI companies are coming in and saying, I want to be in these Embassy Office Parks and I want to be able to contribute to the net operating income of the REIT that manages these? Exactly what type of AI companies are coming in and taking up space in your portfolio of office spaces?
So firstly, JP, it's good to be back on the show, and thank you for having me this afternoon. We've had a very strong, robust first quarter, and we've seen a lot of AI-related companies, which are actually supporting the ecosystem of AI. These could be semiconductor industries, could be telecom guys who are actually in the AI, adding a layer of AI as well. So these are the kind of companies that are actually coming up and setting up their shop in India for the first time. And 21% of our new leasing has been, companies related to the AI work.
Okay, so semiconductors and telcos that are adjacent to the AI space. Amit, I wanted to get your thoughts on how that's interacting with your other key tenant profile. That's global capability centers. Now, some people would think that or fear that the rise of AI could actually cannibalize some of these GCCs because of AI's ability to disrupt their services, but some say that AI will actually transform or perhaps complement them. What are conversations like with some of your tenants, especially in the global capability center side? Are they actually looking at AI, these AI companies, as perhaps disruptors or actually turbochargers and transformers for what they're doing?
Very interesting question you asked there, JP. There are three archetypes of companies out there. Some of the more mature GCCs, we're seeing AI kind of plateauing their headroom growth, because what's happening is what used to be a triangle-shaped organization is now becoming more like a diamond-shaped organization. And coming back to my point on the three archetypes of companies, the mature GCCs might be hitting a little bit of a plateau there, but the newer GCCs or the existing GCCs, they are growing by about 9% CAGR. And what we're seeing is a lot of mid-market and actually the G2000 companies that are actually coming into the country, and they are actually taking up a good amount of space. Just to give you some facts around this, is the last 2 quarters, we've seen about 110 new GCC companies come up and set up their organizations within the Indian ecosystem. And primarily, this is driven by the talent landscape in the country.
Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers here. And again, pretty impressive. Net operating income growing 17% to just about 10 billion rupees or 1,000 crores. I hope I got that translation right there. I am curious, Amit, because a number of companies we've talked to this earnings season have highlighted higher finance costs as being something that's weighed on some of their earnings so far. Is this also becoming something that's perhaps making it challenging for Embassy's development and expansion plans? And can you help us understand what the leverage picture looks like for you guys as you try to sustain growth and perhaps take advantage of opportunities to expand?
Yeah. So, like you rightly said, the interest markets are actually inching up. It's because of the supply in the, in the debt market itself. But having said that, the repo rate's not been moved, for the last year, and the repo rate is still at about 5.25%. But having said that, the interest rates have inched up. But we've been a AAA credit rated company, so we've got a debt strategy in place, and we've raised some long-term papers as well. Last year, we've raised two 10-year NCDs. So we kind of insulated. So there's not been too much of pressure on our earnings.
Okay, Amit, we only have about a minute left, but I did note again that there is that the Embassy Office Parks is looking to grow. Is it going to remain in the 4 key markets you're in right now, or is Embassy perhaps looking at other places to expand to in the near future? Can you give us an idea of what that expansion will look like, if it's concentrated in where you are, or perhaps a new market that we can expect in the coming months?
So, our philosophy has always been, JP, to be in the 5, 6 top cities of India. And we're already in the 5 cities. It's one city, Hyderabad, that we're actually not present. And we're looking actively to expand into Hyderabad as well. But having said that, there's a lot of opportunities within these 5 cities. And we continue to see opportunities and how we can grow amongst all these 5, 6 cities that we have in India. And like we disclosed to the market, we have a strong pipeline of about 12 million square feet, both from our sponsor as well as third party, that we will like to acquire in the next 4 or 5 years.
All right, I stand corrected. That's 5 current markets you're in, and perhaps a 6th one if there is an opportunity to get into that very interesting and promising space in Hyderabad. Amit Shetty from Embassy Office Parks REIT, thank you so much for joining us today and for laying out the details and the drivers behind your first quarter report card, what that means for your expansion plans in the future.